For our ingredients, we are going to use 1 pack of crescent roll dough, frozen vegetables, 1 onion, and 1 garlic clove, flour, all-purpose, chicken broth, heavy cream or whipping cream, butter, and we're also going to use some thyme. Now these are most of the ingredients we're going to use. We have 1 more being cooked right now, so we can get started. First, I'm going to prep our veggies by chopping up the onion and chopping up the garlic. Now that we have our onion chopped, it's time for the garlic clove. I'm first going to start by peeling off the skin. Then we mince, which is chopping it up in very small pieces. Now that we finished cutting up our vegetables, we can come on over to the stove. We can warm up our pot. I have my cooked chicken ready to go. The garlic is ready, the onion is ready. I have my frozen vegetables with me. And when my pot is warm, I'm going to put my 2 tablespoons of butter in and let that melt. And when your butter is melted all the way through, we are going to take our onions, and this recipe calls for 1/4 cup of onion, but I'm going to add most of my onion to the pot, and I'm going to use the rest for another recipe later. We put that to the side and bring over our frozen vegetables, 1/2 cup, into the pot. And once all your frozen veggies and your onion is in the pot, we're going to give it a stir and let it cook for about 5 minutes. And once your veggies are cooked through, it's been about 5 minutes, you can season your vegetables however you like. I'm using salt and pepper. This is also when we're going to bring in our thyme. We are going to add 1 teaspoon of thyme to the pot. And I'm trying to measure it just right, but there was nothing going into my spoon. So when I finally got the measurement, I'm adding it to the pot. And then we're also going to take that garlic we chopped up earlier and add that to the pot as well. We can give that a good stir to combine all of the spices and the garlic and let it cook for about 1 minute. After 1 minute, we are going to get our flour. And we're going to add 2 tablespoons of flour to the pot. Use the paper bag to help me leaven out the flour. 1 tablespoon. And 2 tablespoons. Then we're going to give it another stir to coat all of the vegetables with the flour and let it cook for another minute. We're going to preheat our oven to 375 degrees. We're going to give it another stir. And then we're going to grab a whisk because we're going to add the cream now. We're going to measure out 1/4 cup of cream, heavy cream or whipping cream, and add it to the pot. And then we're also going to measure out 1 cup of chicken broth. and add that to the pot as well. Then using our whisk, we're gonna give it all a good stir to combine and let our filling thicken. And we're going to keep stirring and whisking our mixture until it has thickened. And once it has thickened, we are going to take our cooked and shredded chicken and just add that to the pot. Then we can give it one big final stir to combine all of our ingredients to finish up our pot pie filling. On to assembly. To begin, we're going to take a muffin tin and I'm going to add some oil to a paper towel that I folded and let it spread out and soak into the napkin first. Then I'm going to oil our tin, oil the pan so that our little pot pies don't get stuck in the little cavities. Next, we grab our crescent roll dough. I had a kind of a tricky time trying to get this package open, but when I finally got it open, we're gonna pull the dough out, and this package makes us 8 pot pies. Then we are going to find the seam of our dough and just roll it out. This particular dough is already perforated and sectioned off into 8 triangles. But we are going to use these, mold them into squares to fit in our muffin tins. So to begin, I'm just gonna start by pulling off one of the triangles and mold it to look like a square. There's no particular way that I did this. I just tried to connect 2 of the ends of the triangle together and then press gently, kind of like a little pizza, to try and mold it out. Whatever works for you. If you have a dough sheet that isn't perforated, you can easily just cut it into your own 8 squares. So we're just going to keep molding these together to fit in our muffin tins until we have all 8 of them filled. The thing about these though, we're going to stretch out the edges just a little bit because they are going to be pulled over the top once we add our filling. I'm gently placing my dough into the pan. Once our doughs are ready, we are then going to grab our chicken pot pie filling. And we're going to give that a quick stir before we add it to the pan. And I'm going to use a 1/4 cup measuring spoon to help me scoop the filling into the pan. So where our dough has been added, I'm just going to give it a nice scoop of pot pie filling. And once your pot pie filling is all added, they're almost ready. We're going to take the edges that are lifted up on the outside and just gently pull them up over top and connect the edges to create our little pie crust at the top. And we're going to do that with all 8 of our little pies. And once the doughs are prepped to your liking, we are then going to place them in the oven for 20 minutes until golden brown. And then you'll have some delicious mini chicken pot pies ready. I also let them cool a little before I took them out of the pan. And now I hope that you'll enjoy some of your own mini delicious chicken pot pies. I hope you all enjoy this recipe. Bamapi.